right, we out here. I got my boy Phil right here. My boy's part of the Porsche squad. There was a bunch of Porsches lined up right here. Everyone else pulled off, but we caught him before he could dip. So, first off, you want to tell the people what you got here?
Yeah, for sure. This is a Cayman S, 2014 Cayman S.
How long have you had it?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite part about owning a car like this?
Honestly, like the access to the relationships in the network. So the whole reason that I bought the car is because I wanted to get into the Black Porsche Club that was here in Atlanta. And actually through that, that's how I got into real estate development. Like one of the first people I did a development deal with was someone I met through the Black Porsche Club.
I like that. I like that. So as far as networking and the accessibility, like you just spoke to,
yeah,
I've had somebody that told me the same thing before I bought my car,
yeah,
and I didn't really believe it until I got into my car and I was like, dang, it really did open up things. You being as young as you are, who put that in you? Like, who even gave you that train of thought to be like, man, I might need to go ahead and get this, leverage it to get to that?
So funny enough, I was with one of my now business partners, but when I was working in healthcare, another pharmacist, shout out to Dr. Williams, what's up, my guy? And we were golfing. I ended up meeting one of the guys in the Black Porsche Club. I didn't know that's what he was doing, but he's like, young man, like, what are you doing? What are you working on? Da 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 da. So he's like, I was telling him about all the investing stuff I was getting into. He's like, I know somebody you need to know. And then I was like, okay. So he literally calls somebody and it's like, oh, they didn't answer. So we're on the other side, basically just in the range. And he runs over the phone and is like, oh, no, here's a guy. And then like just hands me a phone. Mind you, I never met the dude in the first place, let alone who's on the other side of the phone. And he's like, yeah, he told me, all about what you got going on. Like any friend of his is a friend of mine, da 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 da. And then Bird, who's one of the presidents of the Black Porsche Club, was like, oh, yeah, yo, man, like, come on by my house. Like, we don't go out. I'm going to introduce you to some people. And so we went back to his place, and he has a 75 911. Then he had a 2019 911, too. So he took me to one of the events that was like this in Sandy Springs and just introduced me to a bunch of older black folks that are doing really, really dope stuff who just put me on game. And I was like, dang, like, they weren't asking me for nothing. They weren't asking me about how old I was. They're just like, oh, yeah, like, let me show you how to do this. Let me show you how to do this. This is how I make 100,000 every single year for 7 years off 300,000. Like, and I was like, all right, I need to get around this. What I need to do to get around this, get an entry level car and then show up. So that's what happened.
Wow. So what is your background? I know you said that you were in healthcare. What was your initial plan? Because it doesn't sound like you even thought to get a Porsche and do these type of things till you met them. So what was your kind of trajectory before you ended up where you are now?
Yeah. So I was already doing investing stuff, but I didn't see the necessity in like cars. And then funny enough, like now I'm in a car rental space too. So between me and two other business partners, we have about 40 cars right there. And then do stuff on real estate development sides and flips, help with acquisitions for Section 8, Airbnb, business acquisitions. It's taught as a professor while I was finishing out grad school at Georgia State. Do a lot of stuff around financial literacy and education. Download Finance with Phil on the App Store. But yeah, so it's a lot of stuff just about how can I move the needle forward, but how can I also help other people help the same way someone helped me. Yeah.
Wow, that's super dope. When you were coming up, even like, let's say as a kid, teenager, elementary, did you have somebody that you looked up to or someone that kind of guided you? Who was that person?
My parents, but definitely my dad. Not necessarily they weren't big on, I got to make a bunch of money. They were like, let's make enough money that we can take care of the household, but then also like help the community. But mind you, like my dad's an engineer, my mom's a teacher by trade. But by the time I was 5, I knew how to go to grad school for free because when my dad immigrated from Kenya, that's what he did. He taught as a graduate teacher, and that's literally what I did when I did my master's too. So they literally set a lot of the foundation on working hard, getting stuff done. My dad is the type where you'll never know, like, pretty much nothing. Like, he drove with a car that literally did not have AC for a little bit. Mind you, as an engineer making plenty of money that lives way beneath his means, but he was 100% behind me doing whatever I saw fit, including buying this car when I did and a bunch of other ones.
No, that's definitely dope. That's definitely dope. Is there anywhere that they can find you online? I know, first off, I don't know if y'all caught, he already said he has an app on the App Store. Nobody else out here said that, so we're going to definitely put your information there. But where else can they find you online?
For sure. On Instagram, you can find me at my name, at phillip.karaya, at phillip.karaya, or at Finance with Phil on TikTok and also on Instagram. Yeah.
No, man, we definitely appreciate it, man. Yeah.